In the interest of justice and true spirit of shared humanity, the federal government of Nigeria, as a matter of urgency, must stop the proposed security alliance, stop its romance with Israel in whatever capacity.
Hello and what's up, guys? In this video, we uncover a shocking development shaking Nigeria right now. Muslim leaders in the southwest and across the north have staged a major protest in Ibadan, warning against Nigeria entering any military alliance with Israel. With banners, flags, and fiery speeches, they accuse the government of ignoring the suffering in Gaza, calling Israel's action genocide. Their demand: cut off all military, economic, and diplomatic ties immediately. But here is where it gets even more alarming. Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has raised a serious claim. He says Israel intelligence agency Mossad is already operating in Nigeria and warned this could lead to the secret assassination of Muslim leaders. He even linked it to the mysterious death of former head of state General Sani Abacha after hosting Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. Gumi insists President Tinubu is being misled and that this deal may end in disaster. On the flip side, the Middle Belt Forum is applauding the Pact. They call it historic, strategic, and long overdue. For them, this is not about religion, but about survival. They point to the staggering numbers: over 35,000 people killed by Boko Haram, trillions of naira lost to ransom payments, and millions of Nigerians displaced. According to them, Israel's advanced technology and counter-terrorism experience could finally turn the tides against kidnappers, bandits, and insurgents. So the question is clear: does this deal with Israel expose Nigeria to danger? Or will it finally be the breakthrough in the fight against terror? Guys, I will let you watch this video for yourself so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look, guys, and remember to share your thoughts after watching.
Nigeria and Israel have taken steps to bolster bilateral relations. This was when Nigeria's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Ojukwu, held a meeting in Abuja with her Israeli counterpart, Miriam Haskell-Harpers. A statement by her media aide, Magnus Eze, indicated that the outcome yielded concrete agreements across multiple strategic sectors, emphasizing the need for global collaboration in addressing insecurity and counter-terrorism.
Muslim leaders in the southwest have staged a peaceful protest against what they described as any form of military cooperation between Nigeria and the State of Israel. They protested after a press conference organized in Ibadan. The press conference and the protests were organized to raise the alarm on the humanitarian crisis and starvation in Gaza, with a call to end the genocide in Palestine occasioned by the war between Israel and Palestine. The Muslim groups carried placards and banners as well as Nigerian and Palestinian flags, giving reasons why Nigeria should not have a bilateral military accord with Israel.
In the interest of justice and true spirit of shared humanity, the federal government of Nigeria, as a matter of urgency, must stop the proposed security alliance, stop its romance with Israel in whatever capacity, and boycott Israel's economic relations, sever its diplomatic ties with the state.
The Israel should not be belligerent, insisting that they only have the authority to exist in that region. So we are calling on the conscience of the world leader to use whatever God has provided for them in terms of power to implement that two-state solution. That is the only thing that can bring peaceful coexistence to the entire world, not only even in the Palestine region.
I learned that some people are gathering, some Muslims are gathering in Ibadan, asking President Tinubu to declare war on Israel over Gaza. I'm coming back to that later. Let us quickly mention Gaza, because Gaza is an endangered thing that you have to be careful on what you say anywhere in the world. The reality is, it is unfortunate that the whole world concentrate their attention mostly on Gaza because they are light-skinned, while Islam-backed terrorists are killing them in their thousands in Sudan. Now, let us talk about this Gaza. Why is Gaza being destroyed? Gaza, Hamas, declared war on 7th of October against the Israeli children on a playground. You've always done, the two of you always done that. You exchange each other's fight. But you now kidnapped their children, their sons, their daughters, and even their dead bodies. And you are expecting the Israelis to just back off, leaving their own citizens to suffer. You think in Nigeria, where Nigerians will be killed in their hundreds in Libya, in Tunisia, being maltreated in Algeria, and nothing is happening. The Israelis are saying, give us our children. The war will be over. Hamas totally refused to let these people go. Personally, I believe, to me, because you know that this is a war that you cannot win. I personally believe in my heart that Hamas are actually working for the destruction of Gaza, working and as undercover for the Israelis. Because why would you keep these people? What would you gain? I don't understand. But let us come back to Nigeria. The Muslims are asking His Excellency President Tinubu to go and declare war. Well, President Tinubu, please, I am begging you, declare war on Israel. I said declare war on Israel. Anybody that advises you not to, we want you to go and show our power. You know we are the giant of Africa with our less than 100 million aeroplane, helicopter, and drone. Let us declare war. Let us go and fight them. The Gbogbo Imale of the world, put together about 300 million, will be destroyed by Israel's 7 million population. We have problem in Nigeria. We have our own problem. We have issue. People are dying of starvation. People are dying of hunger. People are dying of insecurity. Muslims are destroying the nation. In Nigeria, they still went to Plateau State. There is violence everywhere. Yorubas are kidnapping Yorubas. Igbos are kidnapping Igbos. We have not resolved that. Ẹ̀dìkílẹ̀ ogun lórí Israeli o, ó pẹ́ ẹ̀ tí mi ṣe ogun àtọ́gbogbo.
United since na Igbo people be the problem of Nigeria, no problem. We go wash all our dirty linen in the public. If other nations won't laugh at us, at least let them laugh and mock us using the right information. Look at your screen. Oga, look at your screen now. The United States government had actually released 6 names of Nigerians sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. Oga, I beg, check out whether you go see any Igbo man name. Check out now whether you go see any Igbo name. You to say this list is filled with Igbo names. Social media for don't cancel. Everybody for that they speak. Mandere Roche, Mama, Lois Kabash, everywhere. Everybody for that they Kabash. Not forgetting that last year, the Nigerian government also released 15 names of Nigerians sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. In any case, it will surprise me because other governments of the world, they release people where they sponsor terrorism. Nigerian government, as complicit as they are, they also release names. Copy no go buy them. Make it no be saying that they carry last, you understand now. But they release names. Check the names. Whether you go see any Igbo man names. Hey, Igbo is this. Hey, Igbo, we want to try to frame up the Igbo man to be the problem. Let's stop being hypocrites. Yesterday I released names of people caught pushing powder in Saudi Arabia. No Igbo man named inside as well. We accuse them of every evil that is happening in Nigeria. They are human skull miners. So you are trying to tell me that the ritual buying, ritual kidnapping, and everything that is happening in Nigeria is only in the east. Abi? Na for only Anambra, na for only Abia, na for only Enugu, na for only Ebonyi. Now it happen. Let's stop being hypocrites and face the problem. Stop this unnecessary dragging. If you are being paid, God will judge you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. Israel to help Nigeria combat bandits, Boko Haram, ISWAP terrorists. When I saw the news, I said, let me know the background of the news. What really happened? Because last year, by this time, the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria accused Iran of trying to destabilize Nigeria by funding ISWAP and some terrorist group. And that accusation has not been denied by Iran. I don't know anything about that. This is what the Israeli ambassador said, okay? And he said that to the Nigerian government. So I discovered that Bianca Ojukwu, who is the Minister of Foreign Affairs State, met her counterpart from the state of Israel. So they discussed a lot of things, and they agreed to share military intelligence between the two countries. So most of the decisions reached in that meeting, I don't know whether Bianca Ojukwu was representing Nigeria from the mandate from Aso Rock. I know, yes, she's the minister, she has the mandate to represent Nigeria. What they discussed there, is it the intention of Nigerian government? That is very important thing we are going to look in this video. However, I believe personally that everything Bianca Ojukwu said there will die there, because the Nigerian government, the presidency, I mean the executive branch, the legislators, like the House of Rep and the House of Senate, they will never allow such a thing to happen in Nigeria. For the best reason known to them. And the reason is not far from what the head of military intelligence in Nigeria said 3 years ago. Take a listen.
She is right. It's not about ransom. They just want to pass a message. We can come in. We can do what we need to do. And there are some hardliners in this government that are sponsoring this kind of narratives. They just want to show that they can Islamize this country. They think about Taliban, they think about the Mujahideens, and they want to replicate it in this country. And they don't care what happened. They simply don't care. As long as at the end of the day, there's Sharia, and there is whatever thing they have in their head, they want to achieve. So these people that are sending messages are sponsored by Nigerians.
I'm sorry if I could follow up on that quickly.
Please go ahead.
This part of what you just spoke about now, the security agencies gleaned this from those who they arrested over time, saying this is the intention.
Absolutely, the intention of it's on the internet. So it's not even about the people we interrogated. The intention is to Islamize Nigeria and practice Sharia. And it doesn't matter if some people die. It doesn't matter if you're embarrassed. It doesn't matter if our economy has degenerated. Look at the interest rate. Look at the inflation rate. Look at the debt profile of Nigeria. They don't care. As long as at the end, the Quran is at the sea. So some people in this country have this mindset. And we must tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you die. If you don't tell it, you die. Some people have this mindset to Islamize the nation, and they are in the government, and people know them. The DSS know them, the NIA know them, the DIA knows them, because it is the DIA that conducted the operations that arrested these sponsors. So they know them.
Yes, that was from Dr. Kunde Ondawumi. He's a commandor, a retired one. 2 consecutive times he came to the national television. You know, this man was the head of military intelligence in Nigeria. What a powerful man. For such a caliber of man to come to the national television to voice out what is going on in Nigeria, respect him. It's not easy to say anything regarding insecurity in Nigeria. Either they will kill you, or they will make sure they will render you incapacitated, even to talk or to work. They know what to do. So if we see people who are courageous, who are coming out to tell us the truth, if you watch the full interview of the man, maybe I will leave the video for you to watch, or you go to the original source from Channels Television to search for it and you watch it, you would understand that this man is not happy with how the politicians are sponsoring insecurity. He said he arrested Boko Harams. That was 2015, 2016. He wanted to end them. You will listen to the story, let it not be that I'm telling you. And they discovered that senators, people in government now, senators, governors, people in Aso Rock are in charge of Boko Haram in Nigeria. This information alone is enough to cause a revolution. It's enough to organize 100 million people and close down everywhere. How can you be sponsoring, as a government, be sponsoring insecurity against your people? How? So, before I leave you with the video, this article is from People's Gazette. I saw the news from there, and it reads that the Nigeria and Israel have reaffirmed their commitment to deepening collaboration in key areas including counter-terrorism intelligence, information sharing, security, financing, and training. So this was disclosed in a joint communique signed by Nigeria's Deputy Foreign Minister Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu and her Israeli counterpart Sharem Hasken-Harpash. The communique was issued following a high-level political meeting held on Monday. According to the communique, the meeting reflected the enduring and strategic partnership between both nations. The discussion focused on critical multilateral issues such as global security, counterterrorism, and bilateral political and economic cooperation. Both ministers endorsed the exchange of valuable ideas and initiatives that emerged during the dialogue. The article continues. Let me pause it here. So that is the reason why I said that Bianco Ojukwu going there to discuss about military intelligence, and I don't think it's what the Nigerian state is going to take serious, because I know that if they involve Israel in the fight against insurgency and allow Israel to come and help them fight, Israel will make a difference. But that could affect politicians who are sponsoring and benefiting from all this crisis. Anyway, take a listen to Dr. Kunde Olawumi.
Ransom. They just want to pass a message. We can come in, we can do what we need to do. And there are some hardliners in this government that are sponsoring this kind of narratives. They just want to show that they can Islamize this country. They think about Taliban, they think about the Mujahideens, and they want to replicate it in this country. And they don't care what happened. They simply don't care, as long as at the end of the day, there's Sharia, and there is whatever thing they have in their head, they want to achieve. So these people that are sending messages are sponsored by Nigerians. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012. Yeah. And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. They mention names. I can't come on air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know, presently in government, that the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock. The intention is to Islamize Nigeria and practice Sharia. And it doesn't matter if some people die. It doesn't matter if you're embarrassed. It doesn't matter if our economy has degenerated. Look at the interest rate. Look at the inflation rate. Look at the debt profile of Nigeria. They don't care. As long as at the end, Quran is at the sea. So some people in this country have this mindset. And we must tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you die. If you don't tell it, you die. Some people have this mindset to Islamize the nation. And they are in the government. And people know them. The DSS know them. The NIA know them. The DIA knows them. Can't succeed without an inside person. And this attack you saw has insiders collaboration. This is an aberration. I mean, you don't attack Nigerian Defense Academy and kill officers and get away with it. Yeah. The last time I was in NDA was in 2017. I went to carry out an investigation by the Minister of Defense. I wanted me to check what is going on with the training and the security environment there. I remember I spent about a week at NDA with the commandant and with the staff, you know. But something struck me, and that was every Friday, the gate of NDA is thrown open, and everybody have access to come and pray in the mosques. And I want to actually enjoin journalists to go to all military formations across the country on Friday by 1 o'clock. You are going to see the same thing happening across all military formations, including Naval Training Command at Papa, including the division in Ibadan, including NDA, including Jaji. I was in Jaji in 1994 for my junior division. And every Friday, our gate is thrown open. And everybody comes in to pray in our mosques. Even though they have their mosque outside. If you go to defense headquarters, I served at defense headquarters as the Deputy Director, Defense Administration between 2015 and 2017. Throughout my 2 years at defense headquarters, I received visitors only twice because of the strict security architectures at the defense headquarters. But every Friday, the gate of defense headquarters is thrown wide open for everybody to come in and do Jumat. That is the time the terrorists have the time to profile our security environment.
Has that always been the case?
It has always been the case. I've served the military intelligence for the past 35 years. It has always been the case. Our problem is religion and socio-cultural. I mean, people will expect me to come here and start talking about kinetics, about operation and so on. I've been an operational commander all my life. commanded warships, I've commanded troops, I've commanded men outside Nigeria and so on. But I'm not going to come to your station to discuss kinetics. The problem is not kinetics. In 2017, 2016, I'm always a member of the Security and Intelligence Brief at the Defense Headquarters. I told them, General Lawrence Shakin then, that the challenge we have in this country cannot be solved the same way we solved the problem of Niger Delta. The Niger Delta problem was solved during Yaradua time, basically by me. And I told them that we can't use that same template for Boko Haram. I told General Lawrence Shakin to look at the center of gravity of the problem. And we all came together. I was made a member of the committee, including Atahiru that just died was a member of that committee in 2016, 2017. And we came to a conclusion after several arguments. The arguments were three. To identify the center of gravity of the problem, one group said it is the fighters, the Boko Haram fighters are the center of gravity, so we should go after them. Another group said the center of gravity of Boko Haram is Abubakar Shekau. So if you go after Abubakar Shekau, then the problem of Boko Haram will be solved. I took exception to the group. I said that is not the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram insurgency that we were having between that 2012 and 2017. And General Lawrence Shakin asked me, allow me, why are you giving problem? What is the problem? Give us the answer. And I told General Lawrence that if I tell you the answer, you're not going to be able to solve the problem. He said, what is the problem? I said, the center of gravity of Boko Haram and insurgency in Nigeria are the sponsors of that program. It was beyond us. Because the job we need to do is kinetics. Fight, destroy places, resolve issues. Yeah. But we cannot resolve issue of sponsors of Boko Haram that were in Buhari's government, that we know them.
When you say we, who
I was in the military intelligence. Okay. And the defense headquarters staff that I work with, they know. And that was why we couldn't pursue that aspect that could have resolved that problem. Because you need to arrest people. And recently, 400 people were gathered as sponsors of Boko Haram. Why is it that Buhari government has refused to try them?
So the government knows sponsors of Boko Haram?
Of course, it's in the news. In April this year, the government said they have arrested 400 Bureau de Change related people that were sponsoring Boko Haram. They told us. And Abu Dhabi also helped us to arrest few Nigerians. Tried them, we know them. Why can't this government, if not that they are partisan and they are actually part of the charade that is going on, why can't they bring those people out for trial?
So the Bureau de Change operators on the one hand, but you particularly said people in government. Are those part of the Bureau de Change, or those people that you say are in government are still there, government is aware and government is condoning them?
The people I mentioned that are in government are not these ones they just arrested. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012. Yeah. And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know.
Presently in government.
Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock. Why should a government try to cause this kind of embarrassment and insecurity to the sense of what happened yesterday? And the solution I gave them in 2017, because when I identified the center of gravity for General Lawrence Shakin, and they couldn't pursue it, because some of them were ministers. And what I'm saying now, the Department of State Services are listening to me. They know them.
Yeah.
So the solution I gave them was that if we can pursue the policy strategic level, because the people that we need to talk to are also going to be difficult to deal with. I said what they should do now is to conduct two things. We should buy blames The blames are not UAVs. They are not drones. Blames are equipment that can fly up to 10,000 feet, 30,000 feet, static if you want, mobile if you want, and they carry a lot of payload. We saw them in Afghanistan. We saw them in Kenya. This will be something that can give us real-time intelligence, and we can know where these bandits or terrorists, where they emanate from, when they finish operations as they've done, where they go back to.
Okay. Well,
they did not buy this equipment up to. No.
Okay, you said quite a number of things. Let's pick up on some of them and see if we could make some, if you could shed some further light on some of them. Since 2012, I mean, you've been in operation, as you said, ever since that time. You questioned several people. Some people were identified at that time. Did the government at that time try any of them? Or were any of them also in government at the time?
No, the government did not try any of them, and the defense headquarters where I worked then did not pursue that line of operation because it's beyond them. The defense headquarters, actually, when you look at the defense structure of Nigeria, they lie within the policy strategic level, but basically they are operational guys. So when you have policy problem, then they cannot go beyond their masters. They can write intelligence reports and say this is what is going on. And we've seen that the present government know what is going on.
I'm sorry, is this a policy problem? I mean, the laws are clear. If someone is said to be involved in something as devious as this, the laws are clear. This person is meant to be arrested, questioned. I mean, it's quite clear. So is it a policy problem? We have the laws. So what is stopping the security agencies from actually enforcing the law, since that's what they are?
I think what is stopping them is like when you are a member of a church and your pastor have decided to be at a certain level of spiritualism and you're a member of that church. You cannot be higher than your pastor spiritually. You can't, no matter what you do.
So this is the same religion you spoke about?
Yes. In real life, you see that the defense headquarters cannot conduct any operations that is not sanctioned by the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Yeah. They cannot.
No matter how small, little
they cannot. So when the Yar'Adua government decided to put an end to Niger Delta militancy, that was in 2007. What he did was simple. He called all the security chiefs and all the intelligence chiefs and tasked them to come up with a solution. The Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Intelligence Agency, the Department of State Services were called with the Inspector General of Police and the Interpol to come up with the solution to the problem. Then the problem was Niger Delta. The president was Yar'Adua. He was dispassionate. He wanted to solve the problem. Within 6 months, we solved the problem. I remember I have to go to Angola to go and bring Herioka, and nobody in Nigeria knew what we did. All we know is that since 27, 28 that we conducted our operation under Yar'Adua, Niger Delta issue has remained manageable. This government does not want to resolve this problem. They are escalating it because of tribal and religious sentiments.
So when you say this government does not want to resolve it, don't forget the same government has purchased. In fact, they're going to induct the Super Tucano jet because of, the insecurity situation. They have, the president has had to change guards, as it were, as a result of people's clamor. I imagine if that was not in the thinking, why would you go that length to make some of the, some of the pronouncements, the meetings that have happened, the purchase, the change of guard and the rest? Why would they do all that if they don't want to sort this?
Because that is not the solution. What you just mentioned is not the solution. When you have a problem at policy level, strategic level, operational level, when you have a problem, what you need to do is to identify the center of gravity of that problem and attack it. That's what you do. What they are doing is not attacking the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram and insurgency. So if the president is buying Super Tucano, is changing service chiefs, that is not the solution. We are looking at the wrong side. It's not kinetic. It's politics.
Are you ruling out kinetic altogether?
I can't rule out kinetic because it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum, you know, so you can't rule out something. But the center of gravity is what they should look at. And what is it? I'm saying it on this channel. It is the sponsor of Boko Haram and bandits.
And speaking about the sponsors, you know, when you say the DSS, and yeah, they could be listening to you, but so they profile, part of their responsibility is to profile all of these persons before they either vie for elections or before, excuse me, they are nominated for any of these positions. Doesn't that happen? Don't they get intel and say, look, this and this is what we found, and then we don't think that this should proceed further? Doesn't that happen?
It does. You know, when I worked with the DSS in 2007, because when Yar'Adua approved the operational order that we did, we now have to work together as a team. He actually forced all of us to sit down together and work together. I was surprised at the tremendous amount of information had by DSS. I was shocked. We in DI, I was in Defense Intelligence Agency, and when they were forced to bring out the files, I was shocked. They have so much information at DSS presently as I'm talking about what I'm talking about. They have. But you see, if a fish is going to get spoiled, it's going to start getting spoiled from the head. The DSS will not do anything except the Commander-in-Chief's body language shows that this is the direction I want to go. That is where the problem is. The DSS has tremendous information. By the time 2023 is here and somebody take over and wants to undo some of this evil that I've seen in this country, you'll be surprised names that the DSS will bring out. They have the information. There's nothing I'm going to say here that they don't have. The defense headquarters have the solution for the kinetic aspect. They do. I'm not going to come here to advise them. I work with them and they're still there. The chief of naval staff was in the intelligence with me. We were together in Defense Intelligence Agency. That's Vice Admiral Gambo. I know these people are good. They know what to do. It's not that they have problems. It has to do with politics, the sponsors, people that feel that this country should be Islamized.
You know, assuming but not conceding that, I mean, that all of this is the case. So what is the end game? Because I imagine as a strategist, that's what you think about it. So these things are happening. What is the end game? So why will this be allowed to fester? For what purpose?
The end game for them, because we did, normally when you want to look at this type of challenges, what you do is that you go through what we call the intelligence circle, okay? When you do the processing and you do the analysis before dissemination point, you discover that the end game for them is to just turn this country into like a Taliban type of country. And it's a mindset. And anything goes. In other words, 10% casualties, 20% casualties is allowed in trying to achieve the end game of Islamizing this country.
That's for the terrorists, the bandits.
It's not for the terrorists and the bandits, for the sponsors. Because I told you, and I will repeat on this channel, the sponsors of Boko Haram and the bandits are the problems. And defense headquarters, the army headquarters, the naval headquarters, the air force cannot do anything about that. Buhari has to do something about that. The Interpol has the list of those people that are sponsoring Boko Haram. I work with Interpol. They should ask. If they don't know, they should ask. The government of Dubai, they have the list of those people. During the trial of those people that were caught, names were mentioned. They have the list. The government also told us that they've arrested 400 sponsors of Boko Haram. Why should the government not try those people and bring peace and harmony and safety to this nation? Why won't a government do that? Those people that are going to harass cadets and officers in NDA, they live around the place. I know NDA very well. I was in Jaji, I was in NDA as young officers, and I know the area very well. They live around the place. So why can't you put up a blimp that can see what they are doing in real time and eliminate them? Why won't you do that?
In fact, there were more details saying that some persons slept up, but we'll come to that hopefully. Markwe has got some questions for you. Markwe, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Chamberlain. Much as we're looking at it looks like we're looking at the remote causes. The immediate causes, I think, is what is worrying a lot of people in terms of the significance of the attack. For some people, they're wondering, what do you think were the bandits trying to pass home a message when they chose the National Defense Academy as the area of the attack? I mean, as the area they decided to attack? Because normally people know that military installations, for instance, if you were to, I mean, you've talked about how the military institutions are usually open to the public on Fridays. There will be questions as to this attack did not happen on a Friday, it happened on a Tuesday. So the guards were supposed to have been up. So there'll be questions as to what happened, how was the perimeter breached, what about the guards that are usually mounted on, watchtowers, what were they doing, were they asleep? There'll be areas where there are CCTV cameras, what happened in those areas as well. There are huge questions around around that. And then the significance, what gave these bandits the audacity, the temerity to be able to say, this is going to be the area we want to attack today? Do you have any questions roaming in your head in terms of, what were they trying to really achieve beyond? Because some people say this is not about ransom. Maybe they want to take a ransom, yes, maybe. But it looks like they were trying to send home a message.
Yeah, thank you, Makwe. You just got it right. They just want to send a message. And this is what terrorists do. And what the Buhari government should do is to tag these people as terrorists. What they want to do is to send a message to create fear and to show the military that we can come for you and there's nothing you can do. You may not know, I don't know whether it's out in the news, that the major has been killed. Belongs to some groups, and I know about 3 hours ago his body was found. He has been killed. So it's not about ransom. I just want to confirm to Makwe that she is right. It's not about ransom. They just want to pass a message. We can come in, we can do what we need to do. And there are some hardliners in this government that are sponsoring this kind of narratives. They just want to show that they can Islamize this country. They think about Taliban, they think about the Mujahideens, and they want to replicate it in this country. And they don't care what happened. They simply don't care. As long as at the end of the day, there's Sharia, and there is whatever thing they have in their head, and they want to achieve. So these people that are sending messages are sponsored by Nigerians. So if I could follow up on that quickly. Please go ahead.
This part of what you just spoke about now, the security agencies gleaned this from those who they arrested over time, saying this is the intention.
Absolutely. The intention of it's on the internet. So it's not even about the people we interrogated. The intention is to Islamize Nigeria and practice Sharia. And it doesn't matter if some people die. It doesn't matter if you're embarrassed. It doesn't matter if our economy has degenerated. Look at the interest rate. Look at the inflation rate. Look at the debt profile of Nigeria. They don't care. As long as at the end, the Quran is at the sea. So some people in this country have this mindset. And we must tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you die. If you don't tell it, you die. Some people have this mindset to Islamize the nation. And they are in the government. And people know them. The DSS know them. The NIA know them. The DIA knows them. Because it is the DIA that conducted the operations that arrested these sponsors. So they know them. Why is the government, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces?
The general area of Afaka, where the NDA is cited, is no stranger to this sort of attacks. Before now, I mean, a few other institutions around the Defense Academy have also been attacked. Talking about the Institute of Agriculture and Forestry, Mechanized Division, something to that effect. I can't remember the exact name of the institution now, but we do know that they have been around this area. Now, I'm looking at the front page of Daily Trust newspapers, and they have this: why NDA security was compromised. And the first writer says, bandits leave peacefully. Peacefully is in parenthesis, near academy. There have been questions before now that sometimes, this happened in Jos, around Rukuba, that, there were attacks happening in the neighboring area, and that the military institutions did nothing. The same thing happened when there were attacks on the airport, residential area in Kaduna. That was very close to the Defense Academy. They did nothing. They attacked the forestry school in Kaduna. They did nothing. Now they have finally come for them. But the talk is that these people have been there all along. They never went anywhere. The bandits who perpetrated this attack have been there all along. Does the military really need, if this is something that is of concern to the security agencies, because it was only a matter of time from what it would seem that we're reading that these attacks were going to happen, it didn't really need to wait this long before they took action against people they knew were a security threat to not just them, but also the people around their environment.
Yeah, Makwe, I may also shock you that some cadets have been abducted before now. And when they took these cadets away, and they demanded for ransom, as low as 400,000 naira at that time, the cadets were released after the ransom were paid. And the cadet told them that where they took them to, that they could hear the parade going on in NDA, that they were not taken far away from NDA, that every morning they hear the parade and the programs going on in NDA while they were in the camp of the terrorists. You are right. These people live around NDA. It's about social-cultural issue. As long as you are a Muslim and you speak Fufude or Hausa, you can do whatever you like and fraternize with the military and go in and out of the barracks. You are saying that the attack did not happen on Friday. Of course, it will not happen on Friday, but they have enough time to carry out surveillance. They have enough time to have insiders that will work with them. The problem is that journalists should go around our military institution this Friday and carry their cameras and see the decadence, the security breach that goes on every Friday in all military institutions across Nigeria, and tell the Minister of Defense to put a stop to that. The defense institutions, they are sacred. They are not where people can come on Friday, throw open the gate because they want to come and do Jumat. The truth is that on Sundays, we don't have such, invasion of our premises by Christians to come and pray or to come and do whatever on Sundays. But for the 35 years I spent in the military intelligence, if you go to Tego Barracks in Apapa, it's the same. The Tego Barracks is where I was trained as an intelligence officer. It's the same. On Friday, they will troop in. They throw it open. It's religion. And because we must think about solution. The Minister of Defense should stop this. They should make pronouncement and stop it. Every Friday, people should go to various mosques around them to pray and maintain the sanctity of our military institutions. That's what I
wanted to know if this has been an issue before now. Has this been anything that, the people at the top in the military have found as a source of concern? Let me raise an instance. For instance, we know that at almost every security institution, even on the roads here in Abuja, before you can enter the same road that leads to any military institution is divided in two. There are huge barricades to prevent anybody from just entering, so to speak. This became a source of concern for the military, in terms, especially after the attacks on the police headquarters. Has this been a source of concern for for the top brass of the military to say, hey, look, if we're taking these steps to put barricades, then this is also going to be a source of concern for us. What can we do about it? Have they elevated this discussion?
At defense headquarters, every Monday, even if you go this Monday coming, you will see they're always there to discuss intelligence and security brief. We discuss all topics there, including the issue of Muslims gathering every weekend. All those barriers you see at defense headquarters. And that's why I'm talking to the media. They should go there on Friday. The barrier is no longer there. It's open because it is Jumat. And this is when they come to carry out surveillance. If you look at what happened in Mogadishu Barrack, It was the same. That was the time they went there and blasted the place and killed a lot of people. It's these same people that are allowed to have access on Fridays and become members of the mess because they are, it's a social cultural issue. So I think we should begin to look, the Minister of Defense should put an end to this, because for 35 years of my stay in the military intelligence, it has been the case. Both naval institution, Air Force institution, Army institutions, even the Department of State Services. Once it's Friday, the gates are thrown open. And people come from outside. And there'll be no space. They'll be all over. If you go to Defense Secretary on Friday, this Friday, you see them littered everywhere.
If I could just comment now. I mean, this conversation is usually quite tricky. I mean, people listening, some might take different perspectives to it, thinking, oh, is this a religious thing? Is this an ethnic thing? They ask, is it only Muslims you have in the military? Is it only people from this certain cultural, heritage that you have in the military? And I'd like us to tackle the issues. You have mentioned what you have called the core, as it were, of the problem. How do we tackle this without viewing it from a religious spectrum, an ethnic spectrum? Because well, Nigeria is quite, polarized across, these groups, ethnicity and religious. How do we tackle it without coming off as though you're inciting people, on those lines?
You see, one thing I discovered in this country is that when it comes to religion, everybody is very sensitive. But the fact I have laid bare is from the experience of 35 years of military intelligence. So I'm not coming to the air to whip up sentiments, no. I have been in the system. I work with Abacha government. I work with Babangida government. I work with Abdul Salam. I work with Yar'Adua Obasanjo. As a core insider of operations, I belong to a group of people that you are not supposed to see, people that you are not supposed to hear, because we have 3 classes of military officers. I belong to the wars group. I lost my family because my family does not have to know where I have been, where I have gone, and I cannot talk. I've seen Colonel Lu here, I've seen Stan Lambo. Some of us belong to that group that we are not supposed to be seen, and we are not supposed to be heard. The truth I'm telling you now is not about sentiments. Is that there are a group of people in this country that feels that this country should be Islamized. This is a fact. Except you want me to start mentioning names of people in this government that we have interrogated. I was a member of an interrogation team, and I've interrogated a very high-ranking member of this government in 2007, 2008 on the issue of Boko Haram. I interrogated him. He's in this government right now. And what was the issue? Boko Haram. And this senior officer was actually let go because he was found culpable. But right now he's in the government. You see, we must say the truth, because if you don't, this country is going down the precipice. We have been set back more than 60 years right now. We've gone back to the time before 1966 now. And whoever is coming back to repair this country has a lot of work to do. This country has never been polarized, so we cannot run away from it. We have never been this much polarized. I'm a federal person. My mind is federal. My brain is federal. My loyalty is federal. I do things for the federal government. So I cannot come here and try to be sentimental. No, I'm a federal person.
So will your life be at risk now that they're hearing you?
I don't care. I don't care. And my colleagues, they know me. Those people that listen to me, they know me. I don't care. The issue is that this country is bigger than individual. That is the issue. This country is bigger than individuals. Buhari will come and go. Eliminating me or killing me will not solve the problem. Will not add value. But he will come and go. And somebody must come and repair the damage to the psyche of this society. The damage to the polarization, to the nepotism that I've never seen in my life. I work with all these presidents. This is the worst situation I've found myself. And believe me, Internet does not forget. I was part of the people that helped to bring Buhari to government because I believe in him.
Have you worked with the government after that?
After
you helped bring the government?
Oh, of course, I worked with him. We brought him in 2015, and I work as the Deputy Director of Defense Administration. And we have a lot of hope in him. And we actually are ready to do anything for him. What he has turned out over the years is shocking to us. I was in Harvard in 2014, in December, when the Department of State Services and CIA and others were contemplating about Buhari and other aspirants. I know what we did to convince the American government that the only person that can come and put this country right is Buhari. That was before the Lagos, APC, before the truce within.
Right.
And that was how Tinubu came in. We know what we did, but what he has done in the past 6 years is shocking. It's unprecedented. And it should not be allowed to be swept under the carpet because the damage to the psyche of this country is monumental.